Hello, so welcome to the next square of the 50 stitches crochet along, and this week we're making the harvest stitch. So the harvest stitch makes these lovely puff stitches in these rows, and I think it's supposed to like represent a field of wheat or something like that. But it's a double-sided stitch, and so how do we make it? So for this stitch we're going to use a 4.5mm hook. I'm going to start by chaining 31. When you've done your chain, you're going to turn, and in the third chain from your hook you're going to make a single crochet, and then single crochet all the way across. So including that turning chain you're going to have 30 stitches. Okay, so when we get to the end, you turn, chain one, and in that first stitch we're going to make the alternate turning chain. Okay, I'll just pop a stitch marker in there. So that counts as your first double crochet. Okay, so in the next stitch you're going to make a double crochet. Then we're going to skip the next two stitches, and then in the next stitch we're going to make a puff stitch. So you're going to yarn over, hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, and one last time. There you go. So you should have 7 loops on your hook. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through 6 loops. Then yarn over and pull through the last 2. Then chain 2. And into the same stitch we're going to make another puff stitch. So into the stitch, pull up a loop, and again, and again. Then yarn over, pull through 6 loops, but you leave 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through the last 2. There we go. And that's the harvest stitch there. So then we're going to skip 2 stitches. In the next stitch we'll make a double crochet and a double crochet in the next stitch as well. Okay. So then we're going to do the same as we did before. We're going to skip 2 stitches and make a puff stitch in the next stitch. So yarn over, hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook through the stitch for a second time, yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over into the same stitch for a third time, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you've got 7 loops on your hook, then yarn over, pull through 6 of the loops, so then you'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And that's the type of puff stitch we're going to use for this whole pattern. Then chain 2 and make another puff stitch in the same stitch. So this is the pattern for the whole row. It's 2 double crochet, skip 2, make a puff stitch, chain 2, puff stitch in the same stitch, then it looks like that, then skip 2 and make 2 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Sorry, 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I'm going to carry on that pattern, and I shall see you when I get to the end of the row. Okay, so I'm at the end of the row, and I finished the last 2 stitches with 2 double crochet. So you'll have 4 sets of puff stitches with a set of double crochet in between and double crochet at either end. Now if you're counting your stitches, you'll notice that you don't have 30 stitches anymore. Don't worry about that. The first and last rows will get us back to the right stitch count. So this is just how it works up. Okay, so now we've got to the end of that row, we're going to turn, chain 1 and make the alternate turning chain in the first stitch. and I'll just pop a stitch marker in there. So I'm going to double crochet in the next stitch. So you always have double crochet in the top of your double crochet from the previous row. Now your next harvest stitch is going to go in the chain 2 between your puff stitches. So go into that chain space and make a puff stitch. So you bring up, so you've got 7 loops on your hook, pull through 6 and then pull through 2. Chain 2 and make the other puff stitch. And then you go make a double crochet and a double crochet stitch. And the same in the next one. And then you do the same all the way across the row. So you make your 2 puff stitches, so it's a puff, chain 2, puff into the chain 2 space of the chain space in the row below, and then double crochet in each of your double crochet stitches from the row below. And that is the pattern for this entire square. So if I just go back to the original square, okay. So for this square you'll have 9 harvest stitches. Okay, so row 1 is just the single crochet, then you'll have 9 rows of harvest stitches, and then you're going to finish off the single crochet row. Now for this single crochet row we have to get our stitch count back to where we need it. So you're going to make a single crochet in the top of each of the double crochet, 1 single crochet in the top of each puff stitch, and then in the chain 3 space you're going to make 3 single crochet, and that will bring your stitch count back to 30. So that's 11 rows in total for the square. For the border you'll make a single crochet in each stitch across the top and bottom. For the sides you're going to make 3 single crochet in the side of each of your harvest rows. You're going to make 2 single crochet in the top of row 11, sorry, on the side of row 11, and 1 single crochet in the side of row 1. And then add the extra single crochet in the corners for the turn, and then that's the harvest square. So I hope you enjoy this stitch, and as always if you have any questions please do come over to the Facebook group, always happy to help there, and please do show us your finished squares. So I hope you enjoy, and I shall see you next time for the next stitch. Bye for now.